morning, Netrunners. We are coming to you from Worlds here in San Francisco, covering the Crown of Servers Team Tournament. I am Cephalopod Wizard, he, him.
I'm Jai, he, him.
And we're here to commentate this game for you.
Yeah.
We're here in round 2. We had a bit of internet hiccups in round 1. Sorry about that. But we here have rubenpieters on the left playing Lat versus Santa on the right playing Earth Station.
Yeah. And it looks like time has already started. So let's get straight into it. Earth Station with the double ice central stun 1 hedge fund. I suppose like that's the less aggressive thing you can do in Earth Station. A lot of times you'll see like the turn 1 Ice HQ, new remote, and like flip ID turn 1, but looks like that's not the play from Santa right here. Santa, of course, well known in the community for certain Thule decks and so on and so forth. But I think if those have been paying attention over the past few months, maybe has been seeing Santa grinding a little bit of Earth Station. And looks like we will see the flip here. But yeah, rubenpieters with just some econ setup. And I mean, I'm sure we've all seen this LED deck before, right?
Most likely. Yeah, and that's up, and there's also an upgrade on HQ, very likely to be Crisium Grid, just to make it very expensive to turn off that 6 credit tax on the remotes.
Yeah. And Santa looks like flipping the Earth Station already. Probably trying to preempt a play for next turn. I mean, as you can see with the flip, with the upgrade on HQ, and Ruben doesn't look to be in any position to contest yet. But we do see is a lot of econ coming out from the runner. Already 2 gambles and a commission in the first 2 turns, and a Takobi. Okay, that's not something we see often.
Yeah, this is both sides are well prepared to take their time. So most corps want to get a turn 1 Rashida started, but Earth Station you have a while.
You absolutely have a while. No, we see not 1. I think we see 2 trick shots in the runner grip. I mean, normally a very good card, and it's definitely still a very good card in this particular game. But worth noting that Earth Station, the Earth Station ID ability, the ascending to orbit side, when you pay as an additional cost to make a run on the remote server, you are not allowed to spend trick shot credits for that cost, because trick shot credits can only be spent during a run, just to be clear. And I'm sure you know all about that as a judge.
Definitely. Then we see here just waiting to make a move.
Yeah,
no, you don't need, especially not when the corp hasn't gotten any serious economy cards off. You probably don't need to try to face plant into everything, because Earth Station runs some dangerous ice that's either expensive to deal with or
and expect this to be a Winchester. We'll see what actually Charlie has prepared, or Santa, I should say. But yeah, overclock SMC, finally getting to spend those Trickster Taka credits that came down on turn 1. So lots of fake money available for rubenpieters in order to challenge this Earth Station flip, and it's a tree line. Okay. So that's going to be, we'll see what rubenpieters has in his deck in order to challenge this tree line.
Yeah, I was talking to Ruben, and he said that once the Takobi is rolling, it feels great, but getting the first couple of Takobi counters when you need the strength, that can be kind of difficult. So depending what fractor we're relying on, this might either be a really great way to get the Takobi started, or you might be hurting because you need the Takobi.
Sure, right. And I imagine, okay, so we will see. Oh, it's a cleaver. Okay, so that's not something we often see in this kind of a contemporary lat decks, right? Because normally we'd see like the propeller, the kind of transient breakers that we've been seeing over the past couple of months, and alternatively the pressure spike for those runners that want a more permanent breaker solution. And I think pressure spike is a reasonable answer to tree line as long as it's not advanced yet. But cleaver does the job well. You pay a little bit more. Looks like all the overclock credits there, and Taka plus 1 real credit gets you through that tree line, and looks like, will we be seeing a rest? Oh, it's a Holo Man. That's not a Crisium Grid. Hello.
Oh, huge HQ run.
Yeah.
Because instead of having to spend an arm and a leg, and you still haven't flipped HQ, you you got rid of a critical upgrade.
Yeah, and okay, Thimboric, okay, is the thing. So that is kind of interesting actually, because Santa did double ice the remote and hasn't jammed anything in it, which is interesting, right? I wonder what's the idea of the remote that would cause him to rather put the Hollow Man on HQ rather than in the remote that was, at that point protected by the...
I think it was a bluff as a Crisium grade because HQ looks like it's protected by two really obnoxious things. And then instead of the runner running to try to clear out your opening play, you look like you're waiting to draw something to do, and then you might suddenly Hollow Man, fast advance something.
Sure. And I imagine, with a Hollow Man, we're thinking about three advanced agendas in Wayland. I think the most impactful three advanced Wayland agenda that you'd want to fast advance out, I'm thinking, is Eminent Domain. Yeah,
I agree, because it fits perfectly into this plan of I'm going to get an archer, put it somewhere,
yeah,
and then we're just going to wait because it'll take you forever to deal with an archer.
Yeah, and normally, so one of the drawbacks of Eminent Domain, and I mean, I'm sure everyone's seen that kind of Eminent Archer kind of play that we've seen out of various Wayland decks, BTL, Orb, and so on and so forth. Of course, the drawback of like doing the Archer play is that, the Archer can only protect, one server, right? But in Earth Station, if you put the Archer on HQ and you flip, it's kind of like protecting two servers if you squint a little bit. So yeah. I can see where Santa's going with this.
Yeah, if you get an archer on HQ, you probably never flip Earth Station. You just pay the 6 every time.
Yeah, it's like, wow, I'm not going through that just to see a Chrism at the bottom. That's no go. But okay, so Charlie just taking his time now, considering the HQ is kind of compromised because we have that Trickster Taka ticking along. So unless we get some advancements on that tree line or another ice up.
Yeah, it's
both.
tough.
Yeah, I mean, both of which are not really viable at the current moment with Santa's current credit total. For only 4 credits is not amazing.
Yeah, I urgently need more credits.
Oh,
but
credit Hansei review. Okay, that's an interesting influence spend. Okay, discard a card and ice HQ. There we go. And
okay.
how many cards? 2 cards in HQ. All right. So Ruben's got some work to do if he wants to get his lat draw this turn. So
Meanwhile, on Ruben's side, still looks like the corp's doing nothing. So
yeah. I think the lad is happy to just sit and wait until like another threat in the remote presents itself. I mean, not that much reason to run Earth Station HQ before it's been flipped, if you ask me.
Now it costs you a credit to run Earth Station HQ on this side.
Yeah. So probably not really that incentive. But now, of course, trick shot's been activated. You could fire off a trick shot. Although
I think you want those for when you're going to fight over a remote that has something in it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there goes a Swift. Okay. So
all right.
Swift coming down. We see the console of choice for Ruben. I think both Swift and Anikam have been fairly popular picks for LAT this particular tournament season. Do you have a preference between one of the two?
Oh, I try to avoid playing LAT, honestly.
All right, fair enough. Yeah. But yeah, Swift.
That suggests that we might be trying for a deep dive.
Oh yes, absolutely. I think Earth Station naturally suited to countering deep dives because you want to be playing Chrism grids. Sometimes you play Transferred Monopoly in Agenda Suite. Good for turning off successful runs. Very annoying for deep dive decks to play into. Although Swift will give you that kind of reach in order to rerun a server that's been turned off. And here we go, and clickless overclock from the Swift on HQ. So I think Ruben did pay the 1 credit tax, I believe. We're just running HQ. Looks like it's not for any particular value.
There's an SMC there. This might just be for another rig piece.
Yeah. And if nothing else, even going through the tree line, I think Ruben is happy to spend fake money.
You got 2 Trickster Taka credits that you got to use sooner or later, but Taka can be used on
the SMC, absolutely. And yeah, the most important part, the Takobi's been charged. It's been fully broken and ice for the second time, and now we start to see the real savings pair from this card. It's
Yeah,
not
now it's there for you every other break.
we see another tree line in hand, so we can see that Santa has the option to put some more defenses on centrals, or to to expand to pump and advance. But ice tree line going up to 7 still costs a little bit for Takobi Cleaver, so that's nice.
Yeah, not spending the self-modifying code, just saving that.
Yeah,
So we're not here to launder the overclock credits, except for to get a Takobi counter, it seems.
and yes, that's a run archives, and yeah.
Here
So
we go.
Here we go. It's dive time. Thimberwick is the discard, and here we go. Dive 8 credits. So I think this is pretty good time for a deep dive before Santa gets all the Earth Station deflector shields back online. No Chrism Grid, no Transport Monopoly.
Yeah, that costed 1 credit to play the overclock.
Did we just see an Odudua? Is that the first card? Damn. Okay. I mean, we see one agenda. That's a SDS drone deployment, and I'm pretty sure Ruben will be happy to pick that up for the cost of, probably the SMC. Good thing he didn't crack that on the HQ run, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure Ruben knows that there's drone deployments everywhere in these decks.
Yeah, and will we see? Yeah, there we go. There's 3 points for the runner. Will we see a second access? Probably not.
Probably not. I mean,
you have the option to spend a click to trash a Hollow Man, but
and that might be the only other Hollow Man in the deck, but also it's just going to get shuffled into somewhere that's almost as inaccessible as archives anyways.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see what Ruben does for his last click. But 3 points up. Earth Station still not really off the ground yet, but yeah.
I think he missed the trigger to add a credit to Taka on the steal.
Oh, that's true, actually.
So watch out for that. We're not going to go run into the room and tell them to stop, but
they're actually like we are in like a stream room right now, so yeah, pretty comfortable. I am not getting out of this chair. That's
me
for
neither.
sure.
If we yell loud enough, they might be able to hear us.
If we yell loud enough, the stream might be able to hear us.
Oh, now that's thinking.
So looks like the last click was click for credit by Ruben, and back to Sana. Sana going click 1 draw. Right, so probably looking for things to put in the remote. We haven't seen much of HQ accesses yet, but from HQ accesses yet, we see it. We of course saw a tree line, and looks like we will expand the outermost ice. Okay.
All right. So tree line lets you pay a credit and discard it from hand to get 3 advancement counters. Very cool modal card. I think it's the first time that I've been really interested in advancing something 3 times.
Absolutely. And even if you're BTL, you get the first one, you get some refunds, but the second and third kind of you're not really feeling it, right? Especially not when it's your whole turn. I'm happy enough with like tree line, as you say, being a modal card. Sometimes it's ice, sometimes it's an operation. Both cases, you're not unhappy to play for what it is.
Yeah. Now, as for what that outermost ice could be, there are some options. It could just be something that benefits from strength, like a third tree line, or it could be something like a Colossus, which would be 7 strength and is very difficult to deal with for certain sentry breakers.
Yeah. We don't know exactly what kind of killer that Rubenpieters is running. Of course, shall we say the standard killer that we see in most lat decks is like you either see like Revolver, sometimes you see Echelon, both of which, well, the Echelon more so is kind of a decent thing to play with Takobi to pump into a Colossus.
Yeah,
possibly.
Because Echelon's big drawback is that sometimes you just run into a high strength sentry, and then now you have to pay way too much money to boost up to strength when you could have been playing Carmen instead. But Takobi very nicely gives you that +3 strength boost.
Yeah. Of course, the other alternative would be a Hortum. So Hortum doesn't gain strength from advancements, but of course the activated subroutine once it hits 3 advancement counters is pretty nasty if you get a face check it. So I expect that Ruben probably won't be running HU for a while until we find another like SMC access, because either of those face checks would be pretty disastrous.
Yeah, this doesn't seem to be a kill deck, but in kill decks, a fully advanced Hortum firing just loses the game for you.
Absolutely.
And we see a logjam on R&D, so we get to count up the card types in archives.
I think there was an operation upgrade, ice, so probably 3. So start with 4 strength. Strength 4.
Yeah, so that should be a strength 4 logjam with,
if we're not counting
with end the run, and some.
There we go. It's still free, of course, because of the Trickster Taka credits. Single access looks like nothing happened right there. But okay, so Takobi going up to 3. And I don't know. I mean, this Takobi looks like it's going to be pretty critical in like the coming turns ahead.
Yeah, it looks like all this ice can get a pretty big strength boost.
Yeah. And I mean, we do see there are still trick shots in Ruben Peters' hand. So, it depends on when he chooses to deploy them. And I think Santa will be waiting for the turn where he wants to jam something in the remote before flipping. I mean, obviously. And as we've discussed, that kind of does turn off the inherent power of trick shot a bit. And there we go. Clickless Dirty Laundry. That's 3 credits in archives run. Nothing doing here.
Yeah, it's important to get your credits up because 5, which we had a moment ago, isn't that high. So if you flip Earth Station and you really need to get into the remote, suddenly that costs you more credits than you have before even looking at any ice.
Yeah. Oh, and the propeller coming down is kind of interesting given that we've already got a cleaver installed. Of course, the propeller can temporarily boost to a much higher potential strengths than a cleaver can, especially with the Takobi. I think Takobi and turbine are probably the only ways that that propeller can touch, triple advanced Pharos, which it could be what it's on HQ. Let's not forget.
Yeah, and of course, if you need to steal another drone deployment, I'd much rather lose this 1-cost propeller with a time limit anyways than any of the other options.
Yeah, absolutely. And okay, wait, is Charlie? Did we just see that? Did Charlie just do what do you think it did? Was that a triple advance on the logjam? Hello?
Hard to tell because I couldn't really see how many counters were on it before. I could only really see 2 counters on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I just saw. I think I just saw Charlie take his mandatory draw and then go, put a bunch of credits on the logjam and pass the turn. And, Ruben had in his hands right now. I was like, oh my God, what is happening now?
Yep. If you're willing to play slow enough, the ice can scale to infinity.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And beyond.
And, it's only just starting to occur to me now. Holderman is not only for fast advancing agendas. You can use it to advance cards protecting the remote.
That gets expensive.
It gets expensive for you and for the runner. Come on.
Yeah, but the corp only has 7 credits.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Santa needs a regolith or something.
Absolutely. Like Santa with we saw the government subsidy, the Hansi review. Clearly, this is kind of like a big money deck, right?
Yeah.
And it will take some time to come online.
And one thing that can be easy to lose sight of is we've got this monster HQ ice, this triple advanced mystery on the outside, and tree line costs 3 currently to the cleaver, and then you might say, well, they'll never get through HQ to turn off my Earth Station, but the credits aren't high enough to actually res more than 1 piece of ice on the remote. The runner could just pay the tax.
Yes. So Santa has a lot of work to do before I think he will feel secure trying to push something in the remote. Especially with Ruben, I think senses this, setting up with installing daily cards, installing Stoneship Chat Room. I don't think we'll see Stoneship Chat Room be relevant in terms of its kill protection potential this matchup. But drawing cards is always nice, and you can get a cheeky charge on a Takobi or a propeller. That kind of strength bump in this particular measure could be pretty critical.
Yeah, this might be one of the best looking uses for a charge on Stoneship.
Absolutely. And Diesel coming down. We see Nuka. Well, I couldn't catch it. I think it was a daily cast and another Nuka. And I'm pretty sure Ruben is happy to continue just chilling and installing economy while Santa is spinning his wheels and trying to find something to do. And is that, wait, hold on, that's another, I think that's another upgrade on HQ? Am I right?
It does look like it. I missed that going in.
Yeah, the corp turns are kind of going pretty fast. Nothing much to do here.
So in theory, the corp looks like they're still doing nothing. Not a single card in the remote this game yet.
Yeah,
but that could change. That could be, if that's the second Hollow Man, then...
Yeah. I wonder even if this deck is on Rashidas, right? Because in those kind of like hyper glacier decks, I think most famously Sokka's BTL Glacier from last year, I think the point was made that you do want to cut Rashidas because you don't want to draw too many cards too quickly. And I'm not sure if we're following that same philosophy in this Earth Station deck we see today.
I would believe it. I know one person in my local meta who believes that Rashida is just not the card you want to be playing. He would like to fully unload 3 Regolith mining licenses.
You know what? Fully unloading 3 Regolith mining licenses is 45 credits. That's a lot of credits, and I respect that.
You got to advance that ice.
Oh, yeah. Rashida is only advancing you that ice like 9 times at max, right? From the 3 Rashidas. You could get 45 advancements from 3 Regoliths. I dig it. Let's not talk about how many turns it's going to take, but yeah.
This is a timed tournament. We have, and this is double-sided, so however long this first game takes cuts into the second game.
Absolutely. But I suspect from the IDs...
we can finally see Santa's hand a little bit.
Is that a Pharos? I can't really tell. That may be an agenda as well.
Santa, please, a little more.
All right, looks like install crit on archives. Yep, just respecting the second deep dive. And Trickster Taka looks pretty loaded right now. I think Ruben may be trying to make another run this turn.
Yeah, it's possible that could be a border control. Like sometimes, so in the past we've seen the very exciting play come up where you put an ice on archives and you leave it there all game and you don't res it until someone tries to pinhole threading on archives.
Looks like we are getting a dice for the advancement cards. That is a big number. Is it 7? It looks like actually might be 7.
Oh no!
Yeah, there's a 6 and a symbol, which I assume is the 1. So 7 advancements.
That's the 1.
Yeah, 7 advancements on that lockgem, which means it's still 1, 2, 4 credits for Takobi Cleaver. Not the most, but still nothing to sneeze at.
But trying to shut off any place you could get easy Takobi counters.
Sure, exactly. So, it comes back to, Santa's only on 10 credits. You can't rest too many ice. So if it's, let's say, a Pharos on HQ, which I think seems quite respectable, you can do it, but you can't do it like indefinitely. Yeah. That being said, Ruben will have to make a run this turn, I think, for Trickster Taka purposes.
Yeah, and to divert topics a little bit, those little green dice are from the North American Netrunner Player Circuit. That's the NANPC regionals type event that has been back in force this year.
Right, and recently concluded, right?
Recently concluded. Hams was the overall winner for NANPC.
Congratulations to Hams. Yeah.
And then on the mats that they're playing on, that is this year's, I believe, standard champion playmat.
Top cut playmat?
Top cut.
Yes. There's more than one of these, so I assume it can't be the champion mat, right? But
True.
Yeah, it is a beautiful playmat, I believe, art by Yakuza. And I'd love to get me one of those, Time will tell. We'll see tomorrow. Right, the Sure Gamble coming up. 11 credits on Ruben right now. I expect we'll be making some kind of run. There we go. Run HQ, paying a credit for the Earth Station privilege. And is it a Pharos? It is a Pharos. There we go. So down to 3 credits on Santa's side. And we'll have to see how Ruben chooses to pay first. I saw that.
Charging the Takobi.
The double pump. So pump, that goes directly to 9 strength. Takobi's 3 apiece, so total of 4 extra credits for the Pharos.
Yep, still got your propeller.
And there we go. Another 3 credits to break.
We're doing a little bit of math here.
Calculating. I think, just by my napkin math, everything looks to be in order. Yep, there we go. Thumbs up from Santa. And we proceed. Another 3 credits for this tree line. Santa actually is credit perfect to res a Crisium Grid on HQ if that's what this is. And if he's interested in making this run unsuccessful. Although...
But we've gone a long time without seeing any agendas move out of HQ. There's got to be something to find.
Yeah, I think that's what Ruben is sensing right now. And is it? Yeah, it is a Crisium
Credit
Grid.
perfect.
Credit going down to 0. Okay, so...
You know what has even more credits available to you than Regolith? The basic action card.
That's true. It's a theoretically infinite number of credits. And I suspect both players in the coming turns might be making use of those cards. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's a big hit.
It could be a big hit for Santa, too, if there's an Archer somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, that's... Wow, that's new. Hold up.
We've got a soundboard now.
Yeah, shout out to Kato.
We've increased the budget dramatically.
Yep. And okay, looks like another lockgem res on archives. Looks like we're counting the types. Probably operation, upgrade, and ice. There also 3 + 1, 4. Yep, there we go. 4 advancement counters on lockgem.
Yeah. You gotta watch out though. If you take forever, the runner can just go find agendas.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, single access is not the best thing in the world. But you know, it's what you get when you're faced with a Crisium Grid, and sometimes it's just good enough, especially in the deck as slow as this Earth Station.
Yeah, and it looks like we're discarding the hand size, a Nuka and a redundant Swift.
Yeah. Yep. Santa making full use of that action card, and I think that if I don't miss my guess, I think that was a second Crisium Grid that just entered HQ. So I think well prepared for any follow-up deep dive plays. And it will cost Ruben a pretty penny, I think, to get back in multiple servers with this big ice.
Yeah, and so trash the Crisium Grid, but I don't know. If I'm Ruben and HQ looks like this, am I coming back to HQ? Do I need to trash the Crisium Grid?
I mean, I think we did see a second deep dive in the grip earlier, so I think there's a reasonable shot of being able to get back in.
And we have nice economic recovery, laying down those stone chips to charge out the Togepi.
Oh yeah. We haven't seen a stone chip for crack for a draw yet. I suspect it may not happen this game, especially I don't think Ruben is in any hurry to click for draw. Especially with the lat draw firing so often with the Earth Station as slow as it is. So I am kind of hyped to see stone chip used more for charge than for draw. I mean, maybe it's matchup specific, but definitely it's nice to see it.
Also, good to keep in mind that we did go to 0 to res the Crisium on HQ, but that does prevent deep dives, and I think that's possibly another Crisium right back on HQ.
Yeah, so Crisium, install Crisium, crit. I think Ruben is really wishing that he had a pinhole right about now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether this deck is on pinhole. I mean, we see Trickster Taka, we see Cleaver, a bunch of influence spends already. And of course the Swift. We've seen at least 2 Swifts, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, if I'm not wrong. So plenty of space for more pinholes, and I think a pinhole on archives, hit the Crisium, run HQ, trick shot, a lock jam. We haven't seen any trick shots this game yet.
Yeah, and it is still a lot of money to deal with Crisium. That is just 5 to trash.
Yes, absolutely.
So you probably need to stockpile a lot of money or find him his bones if you wanted to get rid of that whilst you're trying to pull off a deep dive.
And I think it's even if you're pinholing a Crisium Grid, it's I mean, yes, you keep your successful run online for the turn, but the trade-off is that you're not making a good economic trade with the corp, because if you're pinholing a Crisium on another server, the corp has no incentive to res the Crisium Grid. Whereas if you're running the server directly, you'd force the corp to spend the Crisium Grid, to spend the credits to res the Crisium Grid, I should say, in order to deny that successful run from happening.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, if you have enough credits, quote unquote, because you will need a lot of credits, You can go for like the Pinhole Archives, Run HQ, but I mean Santa won't be spending any money on that, right? And
Yeah. But if this lets you play a deep dive, that probably wins you the game. So
Yes.
you'd probably go for it if you think you have enough to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, now that you mentioned like the second deep dive, should we talk about the agenda suite? Because we see SDS, which is not uncommon in Wayland decks. We
Yeah.
see Send a Message, not uncommon in Glacier decks, right? But together, I mean, how many of these do we expect to see in?
I think we might be on a. I'm expecting a play set of each, and maybe an eminent domain to get you up to 20 points.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So a couple of eminence to round it off. That's probably how we get to 7 points in the corp deck. But looks like okay.
Okay, it looks like a dirty laundry somewhere.
On archives, getting a Takobi counter probably, and just spending Trista Taka money. I think that's pretty important.
Yeah, you need the Taka money, but you also can't just keep accumulating it forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it looks like we're running HQ.
Yeah, so yeah, paying 1 credit for Earth Station, and I think Ruben wants to force the Chrism Rest, bring Charlie back down to 2 credits.
Expensive trade to pay all this to get the corp down to.
Yeah, absolutely.
To make the corp
did
lose
you see what
3?
he did there actually?
I did not.
He used the propeller instead of the cleaver. So all 4 counters on the propeller. I guess if you were gonna if you're gonna sell it to an SDS drone deployment anyway, you might as well use it first.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, if you're ever in a decision to decide what to give up to drone deployment, you're already winning the game.
That's true. That's very true.
Now, before we got that 6th point, then I was expecting the propeller to get used up sooner.
And what is that thing that yellow token?
That's a click
token.
token.
It's a tag.
Oh no,
Okay.
it's a tag.
Tag?
Oh, let the tag fire.
Oh, tag.
But you-
Oh no,
but you don't
okay,
get-
I think no. Because I think Ruben was considering to let the tag subroutine fire, but you don't get Takobi counters until you fully break.
Yeah,
the
and you
virus.
probably save 1 credit to get a Takobi counter. Probably saves you more than the 1 credit.
Absolutely. And I think we're just going through tree line the normal way, and there we go. The Chrism Rest looks forced here.
Yeah, because we've already made a run on archives. This could be the deep dive.
And Ruben, is thinking about the trash. Is he going to do
Yeah,
it? Yeah, he's going to do
gotta
it.
go.
That's the second Chrism trashed in 3 turns.
Yeah, the corp is on 2, and we're at the point of, hey, the corp has spent.
Wait, hold up. Did you just see that?
Was that a conjun?
That was a conjun.
Yeah.
How many influence is that thing?
I think it's 3.
Wow, okay. Yeah, it's 3 influence Jinteki Mythic Ice. I mean,
we haven't seen anything but barriers in terms of conventional ice types. So this is probably there to make you break Pharos again.
yeah, I can totally see it. Yeah. And I do not want I don't want to be the one, to try and go for a deep dive and see a conjun at the end of everything and be forced to go into another Pharos that you've broken once this turn already. We ain't got infinite propellers up in this deck,
We don't. But corp is super broke right now, so the runner has a lot of time because, again, HQ may be difficult to get into, but that remote isn't, even if you have to just pay 6 for the ID.
That's very true. It occurs to me, I think, now that looking back at it, there was possibly a play that Ruben could have made on the Pharos instead of, and I don't know, to be clear, I don't know the cost-benefit analysis on this, right? But I think what Ruben did was to use the 4 propeller counters and 2 Takobi counters to get it to 11 strength on the Pharos. There was an option, I think, and not that I say Ruben should have done it, but I mean, we do still have Stone Chip chat rooms lying around. We could have charged the propeller instead of the Takobi to bring it to 10 flat. Of course, you will burn a Stone Chip, and probably that's Ruben's consideration right now. But you will save on Takobi counters if that's what you're interested in. And, install, advance, and flip. Now that's not something I expected on one credit.
So I'm going to guess that that's an NGO front.
NGO is very reasonable. Alternatives, I mean, we've seen some influence this game already. We've seen the Conjun. We've seen the what was it? The
You think that might be Charlotte?
Hanses. Yeah, I think Charlotte Cachador is a very reasonable Influence Splash in this kind of slow glacierish deck. And
Yeah, it is reasonable, and you probably get away with it because while you going to 6 credits to try to win the game might be worth it, this probably isn't that, and you probably can't decide to pay 6 to stop Charlotte.
Yeah, and I mean, that being said, either way that you go, whether or not this is an NGO or a Charlotte, we are still quite a ways away, I think, from making that kind of agenda push, because I mean, I really don't expect this to be an actual agenda, right?
Yeah.
So like, even with this kind of, let's say, NGO money, you advance it one more time, you go up to 8 credits. That's still 8 credits that you're going to have to rest 2 eyes with on your next agenda push. And that's probably not enough, like against trick shots, which we haven't seen any all game yet, right? And I think like Ruben, even if Deep Dive is off the table, I think Ruben will be okay to take a trick shot and bounce off the lock gem just to get the extra trick shot, hosted credits.
That does give the corp 2 credits now. That's a lot of money
Oh,
relative to the current credit total.
That's fair. That's very fair.
And if you spend trick shot to break, then you don't have any trick shot money for the remote.
So it is interesting. Oh, another 3-line expand. Good
all right.
grief.
What are we hitting?
Oh, those are some,
even bigger.
Those are some really unethical numbers on that logjam, if you ask me. I don't know.
So have you heard that Hush is a good card? I haven't seen anyone playing it lately, but Hush would really cause problems right now.
I suspect the only Hush between these 2 players at this table is in Santa's deck and not rubenpieters, playing that Arissana, which I expect I hope this game, ends at some point where we will see the opposite matchup, because I don't know if that's like a certainty at this point. But okay, 11 advancements on that logjam. We are certainly out of Propeller Charge Stone Ship range. It's going to have to be Propeller Takobi. And we do have 1 Simul chip on rubenpieters' side, so it is not out of the realm of possibility to do it.
But you probably, at this point, you're probably angling to finish the game with a deep dive, so you probably want to get enough resources that you can run all the servers, and it is nothing but barriers so far.
Absolutely. I think the good news for Ruben is that, firstly, we've seen like the economic troubles that Santa has had all game, and secondly, I think Santa hasn't found the 3rd Chrism. We assume there are 3 Chrisms, of course. So it's just a mathematical question right now as to whether you can get into all 3 centers and pull off a dive, right? 11 strength logjam, certainly a challenge, but Simul chip Propeller plus Takobi plus Charge gets you through. The logjam on Archives is relatively trivial. The only real question is this Pharos, what are we going to do about it, right? Because it will be attacks on the Shaper's limited recursion tools in order to get enough strength pumps to go through both Pharos and logjam, especially in a single turn. And looks like Ruben's going for it. All right. Clickless Dirty Laundry on Archives from the Swift. Very much a value run using the Trickster Taka credits, farming a Takobi counter, and getting 5 credits back.
Yeah,
that was click 1. Looks like lots of run events in hand, lots of gas in the tank still.
Yeah, get that trick shot to... And trick shot also just comes with its own multi-access. I mean, two off the top of R&D is better than some of the singles we've taken so far.
Absolutely. And I mean, how many games have you played? You're going for a deep dive. I don't know how much Shaper you play.
Okay, we're playing entirely. It looks like this is going to be all run events with a lot of fake money to work with.
Yeah, fake money and Shaper. Name a more iconic duo. But there we go. Looks like we are pumping that Propeller. And here we go. So all the way up to 11 from the Takobi plus the full Propeller break, and probably breaking with the Cleaver now.
Yep,
yes, and I suspect what is the strength? So you will have 4 Takobi charges after this 3-line break, which means that Cleaver can get up to 9 strength.
Yep.
Quick maths, so that's 9 strength and 4 credits to break. 4 credits to break the logjam on R&D with the Takobi counters and cleaver. And coincidentally, guess what number of hosted credits Trickshot gives you?
Yeah, that gives you 4 plus 2 eventually.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, caught that trigger. Flip
Also,
back.
of course, the corp is broke, so if this deep dive play doesn't hit anything, that's a suspicious card that was just put in the remote.
That's right, and the ID just got flipped off.
And the corp has no money for the ice.
Yeah. Trick shot, pretty good card, would have guessed. There we go.
Trick shot will even let you go.
Look at it. We're double stone shipping the Takobi. Oh, Ruben is going for it. Oh, it's triple Takobi. The triple Takobi on the cleaver, dual wielding swords against the
9 free
logjam.
strength.
And yeah, looks like we don't even need to use any trick shot money on this one. So excess.
I'm leaning over as if that'll help me see the card better.
Yeah, so no res. I think we'll see a pop. It's a reverse the cards. Ooh, okay,
well,
that's not what I was
get rid of that for free.
Yeah, kaboom. And here we go. Yep, that is deep dive. 8 cards. Let's see what they are. Odudua, Reglyph.
There we go.
There we go. GG.
All right.
What a game.
Little short on time for game 2, but I think we can fit a game in 24 minutes.
Yeah, and I mean, considering single-sided Swiss rounds are 40 minutes. This one just took over just over 41, I think, for a glacier deck.
Yeah.
Pretty reasonable. I mean, ignoring the fact that the Earth Station kind of didn't really manage to build a remote fast enough, and it's a bit of a shame that the reversed accounts came so late. I think Santa would really have liked to see that earlier in the match. Slow down the runner. Shaper got lots of fake money, but at some point you still need to use real creds, right? And reverse accounts helps a lot with that.
Yeah, and on the reverse matchup, we have Ruben on Azmari. I believe this is an Azmari kill deck.
We probably presume so, yeah. And
then I don't recognize this ID.
It's probably Arissana, yes.
Oh yeah, it's Arissana, and then I think that's a frog.
That's the frog. I think it's a frog acrylic. I don't know where that acrylic's from actually. It's very cool.
Yeah, okay. It's when it's merged with the art, or it's slightly see-through.
Thank you, Santa. Yes, we see the Arissana now.
There we go. We got a glimpse of it on the with just the frog acrylic on the front.
Yeah, very cool. Is that available? The artist calling it?
It's from Crown of Sovereign of Subways, the team event that happened in New York last year.
Okay. Apparently, we're being told by Kato, it's Sovereign of Subways. It's a Sovereign of Subways promo from, I believe, New York City, the team event that happened last year.
So when we talk about what do we expect from this Azmari deck, they are probably trying to play Re-Education with Jupstad Grid. And that's going to, when you score this, the Re-Education empties the runner's hand, and then the Jupstad Grid triggers, does 1 core damage, and the runner dies. Very difficult to get around this without having a stone ship installed.
Yeah. Having hand size increases, ways to draw outside of the discard step helps a lot. So notably, stone ship, also very notably the class act. Multiple ways that you can do it, but has to be very well timed. The Azmari deck sets up notoriously quickly.
Yeah,
right?
This is a deck that plays 40 cards. It plays the actual minimum deck size instead of going 44 because it just wants to draw the cards that quickly. And this is a deck that is playing Your Digital Life to get this large but free kind of busted amount of money. And it plays Predictive Planogram just to draw 3 cards to get to this stuff even faster.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we see right here. Click 1 of the game, rubenpieters, draw 3 cards with Predictive Planogram. This is not something you see outside of this deck ever, I don't think.
Yeah, from the original core set, the card Anonymous Tip was just a diesel for NBN, and it was unplayable through the entirety of Netrunner, and I think this is one of the first decks that would legitimately play Anonymous Tip if it were still legal.
There we go, Anonymous Tip showing up on screen right now. I've not actually seen the revised core set art before. That's very nice. 1 influence too. It's just like Predictive Planogram.
Yeah.
We call that power creep in some circles.
Yeah. What does this game come to? Power creep anonymous tip.
Yeah. It's sometimes a Rashida, good grief.
Yeah. Now, as for what is Arissana up to, there's a lot of options. World Tree just got banned, so probably not that.
Yeah, I hope not. We might need to call a judge if that happens.
I'll run over and hassle them.
Yeah. But okay, click one propeller install. I mean, I'm thinking if Santa wants to challenge this remote, if you think it's like some kind of small gear check barrier, like a rush. I mean, we've seen a couple of options. Wraparound is one. Ping very commonly. Klevetnik is the spicy option, but all these,
we have
can
a
be
trick shot. That'll get you a bunch of free credits, and then you'll come check out the remote, and you'll have the Arissana ability available to possibly put a self-modifying code into play and cash in on those trick shot credits.
Yeah. What would you see? I think we saw an Unsmiling Zarevna and I think a YDL. So no actions on those, and Santa, of course, will bounce into the... Oh, that is absolutely not... that is absolutely not a barrier.
Piranhas, very, very good card.
Yeah.
But this looks like we're going to go Muse and probably get a Physarum Entangler.
Yeah.
Piranhas is very good. It gives the runner a bad publicity, though. And Shaper enjoys bad publicity. So this could be very good for Santa in the long term.
Certainly do. And there goes Physarum, and we'll see that hosted on the Piranhas shortly. Yeah. This is what Ari does, combat tricks, so to speak, right? So
yeah, this is one of the cheapest ways that you'll be able to deal with piranhas in the game.
Sorry, I mean, I need to clarify with you there. When you say cheap, you mean credit-wise, or in terms of like, come on, you did not just do that.
I do mean credit-wise. No one gets to break piranhas for 3 credits.
Well, not unless you're Arissana. Okay, so it's turn 1. The corp has raised a 5 credit ice, and it's immediately been completely compromised. So that. Probably not feeling good for.
But it is just a spin doctor.
Yeah. So not a Rashida. So Santa using that one last trick shot credit. Are we trashing it for real credit? No, it looks like
looks like we're just losing the credit.
I think that's perfectly fine. And we're going Diesel. Very good. Yeah, looks like the Physarum staying on Santa's side of the bot. I think we all know.
How did Muse get trashed there? Was that just...
Muse get trashed from the Arissana ability because it only leaves non-Trojans.
Right.
It only leaves Trojans, sorry. Yeah. So non-Trojans will get trashed at the end of the run.
Yeah.
If
I was confused for a second because we saw Arissana activate and a Trojan appeared,
Easy thing to overlook, but yes. rubenpieters with, I believe, 8 cards in hand after this mandatory draw and the spin res, but only 2 credits. But we did see a YDL on top of the deck, so.
And we just resed a spin doctor.
Yeah, so I think I'm pretty sure that he sees the YDL, and I suspect with exactly 2 credits in the bank, I think I know what's going to happen. Click 1.
Yeah. It's going to be a planogram to power up the YDL.
Ooh, that could be hype. I mean, maybe we see, click 1 credit, click 2 sudden commandment into YDL. I mean, there's a lot of things that the Azmari deck can do to draw cards clicklessly, and I mean that's just what makes it so powerful, so fast, so consistent in getting the re-education kill. But
there is a wonderful Your Digital Life alt art that was in the Run Together pack that, unfortunately, was declared not you couldn't use it in the Cascadia tournament because it was hard to see which was part of the card and which is part of the art. But here at Worlds, there is a new updated version of that Your Digital Life that's double-sided.
It's so cool to have like double-sided alt arts.
So we have the original cheerful side that we all know and love, and on the reverse side is a gray, dour corporate email.
I believe that the flavor text is like receiving an email from HR.
Yeah, saying that text box must be clearly demarcated from art.
Yes, we do like to poke a little fun, leaning on the fourth wall, as it were. But there we go. Just popping the spin for, I believe it was YDL and Planogram, leaving the face down, and another card entering the remote and an ice over top.
Yeah, not bothering to ice centrals. Chances are the runner can't win faster than you can kill them.
Absolutely. And, who knows if Sana just walks into centrals, randomly picks up a 3-point agenda, like for example a re-education, you might just fall over dead from a double punitive counter-strike.
Yeah, we didn't mention that yet, but usually what happens is these decks are also playing punitive in case you just find something. And the runner is not high on credits right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, another card entering the remote here. We've drawn a lot of cards already since the start of the game, and it's only turn 2. Entirely possible that this is the Rashida that Sana was trying to contest last turn, and with an ice in front of that. I don't know if Santa is that interested in contesting. I mean, you do have this Physarum on the Piranhas. It will cost you net 2 credits if you discount the bad pup. But an unsmiling Zarevna on top of the Piranhas. It doesn't end the run, of course, but it's extremely painful face check if you are not prepared for it. But it looks like we're just running HQ.
Yep.
And okay, single access. It's a punitive counter strike.
There it is.
No surprises there. Right.
We hear a faint judge call from over in the next room, but it's actually pretty loud because we heard it.
Absolutely. And looks like just under 15 minutes left in a round. We're of course assuming that the timer is accurate, but we'll just take it as accurate. And I feel like that
I bet this match can wrap up in 15 minutes.
It could end in like 2 minutes, like one way or another. Okay, looks like that's all from Sanderson, and no rest on the card in the remote on Ruben Peters' side. So it could be, it's probably not a Rashida, is what I want to say. So options, Hollow Man.
Yeah, Hollow Man is something that you probably want to down just so that you can never advance a 5-3, so they don't get to see you advancing a card and know they have to run it.
Absolutely. And although we did catch a glimpse of a pinhole threading in Santa's grip.
Yeah.
So
And that is an attitude adjustment. Okay. Again, they want to just draw quickly to the right cards and get those agendas out of the hand that they're
absolutely right.
that they draw because they're just drawing so many cards.
I'm a little bit spooked because when I said pinhole threading, like the moment I said pinhole threading, Santa just glanced at the camera, like he knew I was talking about it. It's like, oh, okay, like let's lower our voices a little bit,
You just got to do it every so often. You ask them how many cards in hand. You ask the players to make a perception check.
Yeah, and then I mean, sometimes you just look at the camera, keep the casters on their toes.
Yeah, maintain eye contact.
That's right. Not necessarily with your opponent, with someone.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now to the face camera that's not active right now. That I believe is not active right now.
I hope not.
But we wore our best hats.
You've got one hat, and that is it's a really great hat, if I do say so myself. I don't know. I just got a scarf on. It's a nice scarf.
It is a very good scarf, though.
Okay, Santa. Clicking for draw 3 of a diesel. 2 credits for Azmari. I expect that Azmari is going to be calling event all game, probably.
Yeah. You just name event because if they don't play events, then they have no chance of stopping you. So Azmari, you name a card type, and if they play it, you gain 2 credits.
Yeah. To be fair, though, I think there's value in putting calling program on critical turns because, you play against Shaper, right? They have to install programs in order to contest.
But you know how they get those programs out? They trick shot with self-modifying code.
That's right.
It's an event anyways.
That's right. More of the story, just call event. Not that difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we thought we'd be making these cool called shots with Azmari and 419, and it turns out you don't have to do that.
Yeah. No, sir. But okay, A-sub spawn shot coming down. Now we're starting to see a bit of the econ engine that Santa has prepped for this deck.
That is a stone ship on the table, so that'll make it a little more difficult. You have to come up with some extra card draw on the turn that you re-educate the runner.
Absolutely. So there are a few cards that are good for that. Spin Doctor is good for if you have a Spin Doctor, pre-installed. We do have one pre-installed on Ruben's side, but it's been rezzed already, so that's not going to be clickless card draw for you. Sudden Commandment, we've talked about this before. Clickless card draw, very nice. And lastly,
Well, it's only clickless if we're at threat 3, and we are not.
well, the good thing is if the re-education has been scored, we are already at threat 3. Well,
But,
okay,
but what
well,
are you sudden commandmenting then?
that's fair. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I guess the simple answer is to pre-advance the re-education. Although, of course, you wouldn't get the Jupe start trigger. How would you say you wouldn't be using the sudden commandment before the Jupe start trigger goes off.
We are running the remote, and that does have 3 cards in it, so that is enough to threaten a kill.
Absolutely.
Possibly through a stone chip, possibly not. And Tsarevna, that's a great card because you can tell them one of these fires, and these are all, well, maybe not the tag, but the others are really important.
The worst 2 subroutines fire, right? Which I think I'm not sure if Ruben gave Santa the credits here. I think it didn't. So it looks like, if Santa has the breaker solution for the Zarevna,
there's a Simul chip on the table. You
absolutely can Simul chip something.
Yeah, you get your Muse, get anything.
Yep. Oh, that's I believe the bad publicity. Oh no, there's a tag. Okay. Oh no, it's just firing. It's just fires. Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. That's the pinhole threading. Ooh, that might be critical. It might come in very critical. Of course, the revolver also entering the heap, pretty decent with as a Simul chip target, but I definitely don't think you want that pinhole going. And I think Charlie must have considered previously to think about pinholing the remote instead of running directly, and decided against it.
Or get a revolver down.
Okay.
All right. There's the Hollow Man. Now, if you trash that, they cannot score next turn, but chances are this is a re-education, which you're forced to steal anyways.
Oh, wait, hold up. Do you see what? Do you catch a glimpse of in Santa's hand? I think we saw a second pinhole and a deep dive. Deep dive Arissana. Not something we've seen recently. Okay. Oh, it's a trash on the Hollow Man. Okay. And we're going again. Jupe start grid, not surprising. And it is a re-education. Uh-oh.
All right, now you got to survive the punitive.
Yeah, danger bells are going off.
We see just a drawing.
Yeah.
But that stone ship is a lot stronger against it's a lot stronger against the punitives because there's a very finite amount you can get to unless you've drawn all 3 punitives.
Yes. I think we have 4 cards in the grip, so the stone chip will be just nice to defend against lethal.
Yeah, and Ruben doesn't have enough credits to play 3 punitives if they've been drawn.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, how big a fan are you of value punitive? It's a good question. That being said, though, YDL is the pick. Yeah, I mean, let's not forget that Santa is tagged. At least, no, is that the tag? Is that the tag?
I think that's the bad publicity.
Yeah, that's the bad publicity. No, it's not. So the tag was cleared from the Zarevna fire. So Ruben doesn't have the option to resource trash the stone chip chat room. I do wonder if there's value in actually doing a value punitive and forcing a stone chip pop.
The runner is at 0, but looks like the other option might just be install advance.
And I'm not sure if can Santa get into this remote again? I mean, of course, it's you would need 2 credits for the.
You could let the Tsarevna fire, and you could pay 3 on the Entangler, and that would get you in
Correct.
again.
And you can probably sell the propeller to ASUPs in order to fund it. You will 4 cards in hand. You will go down to 2 of the Zarevna fire. I think Ruben is counting on the fact that yes, Santa can get in, but he can't get in without compromising his position to double punitive because.
But that's only one advancement, though. I mean, is there a seamless around to finish the score? Because we just got rid of the Hollow Man.
That's a pretty good point. This advancement is kind of suspicious, I want to say.
Yeah, because like your influence is tight in this deck if you're on punitives. You have 6 on the punitives, and then Jupestart is 4 each.
Jupestarts are 4 per. So you only have 1 left. Oh, looks like a judge call.
All right, that's a judge call.
There we go. Something is happening.
Do they have too many cards in hand?
Was that a forget to discard? Something, or was it a forget to mandatory draw? Something happened. It probably involves the Zarefna draw from the previous run, right?
It might.
Oh, I mean, I suspect it's because Ruben didn't discard on end turn.
Yeah. So if you forget to discard the hand size, I believe the remedy is that you shuffle and discard a random card.
Right. Is that what the OPPs is?
Yeah, I think that's what the OP says. That was updated very recently.
Okay. So we'll see what the resolution of that is very shortly, I think. But in the meantime...
Time is ticking. We got 2 minutes left.
Yeah. I mean, I expect they'll get some kind of extension for this. I mean, you'd hope.
We hope.
All right. But, yeah, other than that, we've seen like a bunch of agendas. We've seen a bunch of agendas get shuffled back from the attitude adjustment previously. One's gotten stolen. Okay, so yeah, it looks like 1 random card got trashed, and that's the resolution. Couldn't really see the judge there, but or who the judge was, I should say. But that looks like resolved appropriately. Yeah, and I think Ruben was just calling the mandatory draw. What happened with that YDL? Did we play a YDL that turn? I mean, who knows? Let's get on with it.
Who knows?
Okay,
there's a YDL.
That's the one. I think it was when counting the cards from the YDL that the mistake was discovered. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. And advance. Okay. So
all right, so you might need. Maybe you need that extra click next turn to install a Jupestart out of hand.
No, I think the Jupestart is in the remote already.
No, Jupestart's still in there. What do we need that click for?
Maybe to planogram for cards before you score. Yeah,
that could be it.
And I think the alternative is because I know some of these Azmari lists have been dropping to a single Jupestart and playing like a Neurospike. And I think that's a very interesting alternative kill condition. I think Neurospike re-education was like kind of a thing a couple of years back, and I think it's interesting that they're bringing it back now.
That's one thing everyone was really excited about when Neurospike was printed, and then we didn't quite come up with the deck for it until recently. And Neurospike is an operation that you play it, you do net damage equal to the amount of points you've scored this turn.
Yeah. Oh, and that's it. Time on the round is called. I think...
Presumably they've got an extension, but...
Yeah, presumably.
But when time on the round is called, the active player finishes their turn, then the other player gets a turn.
Yeah.
If this is a kill threat, then we don't have to worry about time this game.
Yeah, I suspect that, I mean... Even if this wasn't the time call turn, this game might be over pretty shortly. We do see a simul chip on the revolver to getting through the Zarefna, and accessing and that's another re-education, not surprising. And so we have to respect the punitive now.
You've got 1 turn to punitive then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
I do think that. Yeah, definitely with the time situation, Ruben will not have another chance to push another re-education. Funny you see 2 criminal programs and they are the only programs in from the Shaper player, but that's how it is with Arissana these days.
Oh yeah, Crim's got the best programs.
Said no one ever.
Hey, I maintain that if Criminal had a good 2MU console, they'd be stoked because you can play more Chesfas, you can play more bankrolls.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. But Santa just going to 2 credits, discarding from end of turn. Yeah, and now we'll see if Ruben has the punitives. Triple punitive will absolutely do it, but you will need 3.
looks like we're doing a shuffle. It's just
Yeah.
So Spin Doctor was popped. What got shuffled in? Did you
I'm
see?
pretty sure we didn't see the cards, but I'm pretty sure that. Oh, no, he ran R&D and just just yeah, that will just do it. Oh no, wait, what's going on? We're talking to a judge. Okay, yeah, it looks like game's over either way.
Yeah, with 6 points.
Yes, and it just ran R&D, ripped the Degrimo off the top. It does look like we see at least 2 punitives in hand for Ruben, but I don't know if we're at a third. But yeah, and yeah, I think that's just about it. Just in time for the time call.
Yeah, so that's round 2 on our Crown of Servers tournament.
Yeah.
We are about to head into a lunch break, so we should be coming back after an hour or so.
An hour-ish, yeah. For round 3, I mean, will we be seeing you after the break?
I can be here after the break.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm playing side events. I'm having fun. Right. I got a draft deck here. I got to talk to some people. Yeah, we're gaming. But yeah, maybe we'll be back. Maybe we won't. But in either case, it's been an absolute pleasure casting for you all, with you all, and we'll see you on the other side.
All right. Have a good lunch break, y'all.
Always be run.